This year, there were not so many detectives coming out, but true fans of the genre shouldn't be disappointed. They are still out there. Here are 10 movies in the detective genre that came out online this year and are worth watching. Number 1, Reptile, a grim detective movie starring Benicio del Toro, Alicia Silverstone, and Justin Timberlake. In the story, Detective Tom Nichols investigates the bizarre murder of a young female realtor in the town of Scarborough, Canada. She was stabbed over 30 times in one of the homes she was selling. There are at least 3 suspects, and it's up to the detective, with the help of his partner and extremely smart wife, to unravel the case. There are enough all sorts of cliches and genre templates here, but that doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It doesn't always have an even pace, and there is a slight dragged out feel to it. And this, in turn, is even a positive moment because it allows you to smoothly immerse in the right atmosphere and gradually increase the degree of tension. Well, and in general, there are almost all the attributes for fans of the detective genre. That's why this movie will definitely brighten up your autumn evening.
Interesting, huh?
Number 2, To Catch a Killer. Crime detective from Argentinian Damien Cifron, director of the 2014 black comedy Wild Tales. A series of murders occur on New Year's Eve in Baltimore, and a female cop played by Shailene Woodley and an investigator played by Ben Mendelsohn try to catch a dangerous criminal. This is a solid action detective movie that is good in terms of atmosphere and spectacle. 2/3 of the screen time is taken up here by a detective with elements of drama, but in the final third, a full-fledged dynamic and bloody thriller is already unfolding.
Making any progress?
Well, I'm here.
Number 3, Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. This is the second movie about the famous private investigator, Benoit Blanc. This time he goes to the Greek private island of a billionaire who throws a party there with a mysterious murder. Then what was supposed to happen happens. The writer and director Rian Johnson is the same as in the first movie, and in the lead role is again Daniel Craig, and on the rest again a bunch of Hollywood stars. That is, the second movie about the famous detective is made on the molten image of the first, with a good cast, unexpected plot twist satire, and pleasant visuals. In general, not better than the first movie, but quite a worthy sequel.
The killer wouldn't hesitate to kill again if it covers their tracks.
Number 4, Los Ranglan's Torcio dos de Dayo, a movie by a popular Spanish director and lover of tangled stories. Anyway, Spain's 70th year, a certain man brings a beautiful, spectacular woman named Alicia, standing somewhere in the mountains, a large psychiatric clinic sanatorium, and under the guise of a mental patient, she tries to find out details about the death of one of the inmates. In this movie, one can immediately guess the manner of the director, i.e. non-linear narration, confusing plot lines, and unreliable narrators. The author unhurriedly but engagingly and deeply immerses the viewer into the dark abyss of the human psyche. The movie runs for 2.5 hours, but does not let go until the last seconds.
Para conseguirlo. Alicia.
Number 5, Luther Can Get Eyed. This is a full-length sequel to the popular British series about a London police inspector who is prone to breaking protocol to catch criminals. His name is John Luther, and his role is played by Idris Elba, and the main villain is played by Andy Serkis. According to the plot, John Luther will have to overcome all obstacles and track down a psychopathic serial killer terrorizing London. Despite the fact that this is no longer a TV series, but a feature-length movie, content, structurally nothing new to the story will not add. At the same time, the plot develops dynamically. True, in the series, the authors managed to keep the intrigue better, and the integrity of the plot as such is not, but loyal fans of the moody detective were happy that Luther once again sat behind the wheel of his old Volvo, put on the same gray coat, and went on a new case.
'Cause I'm ready.
Number 6, Missing. This movie has been tacitly dubbed the sequel to Timur Bekmambetov's 2018 film Search. The action here also unfolds entirely on a computer display, and the producer and writing team are the same as in Search. In the story, an 18-year-old girl sees her mom and her boyfriend off on a romantic trip to Colombia, and now on the appointed date, it is time to meet the couple at the airport. However, the plane arrives without them. The daughter quickly puts on the ears of the police, but in parallel tries to remotely search for her mother and herself. The genre of screen, live, has long been loved by viewers, and it is worth admitting that in some cases these projects really manage to impress. And if you like profile or search from the same genre and the same authors, then this movie should also hit you.
Oh my God, someone's here.
Number 7, A Haunting in Venice. This is Kenneth Branagh's third movie, and as the main character, Eric Poirot, and actually the director. Joining him here are Michelle Yeoh, Jamie Jordan, and Kaylee Riley. This time, Branagh unearthed and adapted one of Agatha Christie's later novels called The Halloween Party. The year is 1947, post-war Venice. An old acquaintance of Hercule Poirot drags him to a seance to solve the mystery of summoning spirits. Naturally, some sort of crime takes place there, which he will try to solve while all the suspects are locked inside the old house. In this part of the franchise about Poirot to the detective genre, elements of mysticism are mixed and the movie itself looks more chamber and atmospheric. Yes, there are fewer stars than in previous installments, and the detective itself cannot be called the best of the year, but the actors do a great job, and fans of Branagh and the genre as a whole will definitely enjoy spending an hour and a half of their time on it. Number 8, Mon Crime, a new and very light satirical movie from François Ozon, 1935, France. A failed actress is accused of murdering a producer who harassed her. The defendant is defended by her best friend. The movie starts out as a courtroom drama, but gradually turns into a light comedy of positions. It is very French in style, with great retro stylization, and in fact, it turns out to be not as simple as one might think at first. In general, I'm sure fans of François Ozon's work in French cinema in particular will definitely be satisfied. Number 9, The Pale Blue Eye, gothic detective thriller from the director of Unfriends, Scott Cooper. It is based on the novel of the same name by Louis Boyard, but what in the book we learn in the beginning in the movie is brought to the finale. In general, the 19th century, Christian Bale as a detective investigates mysterious murders that took place at the West Point Military Academy. Helping him in this case is a young cadet named Edgar Allan. The future world-famous writer is played by Dudley from Harry Potter, Harry Merlin, who, by the way, has some resemblance to the famous author of mystical stories in form. This movie is a classic detective with a touch of mysticism. Ancient Gothic surrounding snowy landscapes and dark, gloomy interiors perfectly create the atmosphere. There are few dynamics here. No chases, no fights, no shootouts. The movie is more in the spirit of Poe's stories, unhurried, contemplative, and conversational. Well, and from the undoubted pluses, it is the very atmosphere in Christian Bale.
It's only a matter of time.
Number 10, Byom-jo Dosi. It's not clear where the localizers got the title Showdown and Busan from, if the case was actually in Japan. Anyway, this is the third installment of the Korean Crime City franchise, which tells about the adventures of Korean people's detective Masu. The first part collected an impressive box office and several awards, and the second part was already breaking records, ending the year as the highest grossing Korean movie of 2022. So it didn't take long for the sequel to arrive. This time the cops are investigating the biggest case of their career. A powerful synthetic drug is running rampant throughout South Korea, snuffing out young people from Seoul to Incheon. But classic drug interdiction measures are powerless. Everything is the same as in the previous parts. Action alternates with humor, and all this is presented with the trademark South Korean flavor and manner. And the main driving force is Mata Dong-seo, a former boxer, club bouncer, and sports coach who has strong fists and impressive dimensions. That will be all. Thank you for your attention and good luck.